First time I heard asbestos was probably in 1972 or 3. I had gotten out of the military in 71, went straight to work for a major oil company.
When I was on the fire department is when I first heard about it, because so much stuff back then it was made of asbestos fibers.
When I started working in the refineries, they had it down there, the walls was like that.
Roofing, walls, paint, it was everywhere.
I've seen gasoline fires just engulf it and not hurt it.
Any gasket that was made that had to be handmade or stuff, the older guy says, use that asbestos. It doesn't tear up, it'll stay with us forever.
And we have worked in it not knowing what it would do to you.
We were not that concerned with asbestos because we didn't know the dangers of it.
I don't think people knew what it was.
At the time, they were hiring, and they needed folk, and we were young, and we went to work. Had to go to work.
The older guys will tell you, I want this done or I want that done. We did it without question, not knowing the difference.
Get out there and do the job.
And I never did turn it down. If I had a chance to work, I'd work, because that's the way we were raised.
We had all heard about fires. We had all heard explosions.
Being in the Army, I've been in worse.
And we knew that it was dangerous, but we understood that when you went in there. They weren't telling us particularly about asbestos.
We didn't know what it was. We weren't told what it was.
It's surprising to me that it didn't get out to all the workers in the industry. It's surprising that they knew back then, in the 1940s.
We was not told until people started dying that it was a long-term deal.
We started going to getting tested. But undoubtedly, I found out that it takes a while for it to show.
It might not bother you for 25 years.
And most of us in the 80s and early 90s was showing that it was negative. Matter of fact, I've talked to quite a few people after retirement. And they say, oh man, I got checked 15 years ago, and they say I didn't have anything. And a lot of people just don't go back.
The first time when I went in and did the breathing test and the x-rays, I told her, I said, I ain't got nothing wrong, it ain't gonna bother, I was surprised when they called me and said I did have it. And then I think she felt about the same way when they told her.
I didn't think nothing of her washing my clothes, but then I got to thinking, that stuff's everywhere. I brought it home, so I kept telling her, you need to be tested. Of course, she didn't want to at first, but she finally agreed.
Asked me how many years I washed his clothes. I washed his clothes for 42 years. And then I was tested, and I had it too.
Shocking, actually. Especially my mom. She was at home, She never went in the plant. And she's innocent completely. She never was at the refinery.
Wives would come by and tell my husband about the asbestos, but I didn't know what they were talking about, and finally when it came, I was like, I was right to think something was wrong.
I would say if you're on the fence, you need to get it done, because most of them don't know if they have it or not, and they're gonna go through life and something's gonna get them later on, and they're gonna say, well, what's going on now?
I've had some good friends. I've watched them smother to death because of that. Shrivel up to 80 or 90 pound guys. And it's just horrible. And all because they were not told what it was.
When I look back, it's really disgusting to that somewhat would warn us of our danger of our health.
If you make a decision to take a risk and you know what the hazards are, and you make that decision to take it, that's one thing. But when they know that there's something that'll hurt you, and they hide it, that ain't right.